Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to the show. It is time to continue the adventures of the Crimson Queen. I hope all of you are ready for a bit of a new twist. Nobility. Our people, our heroes, have dealt with them in little bits here and there, but the true essence of nobility has eluded them. There's been no need for it. But now, the nobles of old Korvosa may be instrumental in their victory and their use. So join me as we find out if these deals will be helpful, hindrance, or something else entirely. Yeah, there we go. And there we go. Okay. Welcome everybody to the Crimson Queen. Hello.
That's an absurd amount of dice. Why have you done this?
So the reason. Oh yeah, that was a lot.
I know you're doing it through the chat, but jeez.
1,000 D10.
Oh, that's so many. Oh, like so many.
That's a lot of ones.
Added a 0. Got it.
We're done. So yeah, welcome everybody. I hope you have all had great days. You know, ready for some adventure. We're here.
I've had too much adventure in my real life, so let's have more adventure in my fake life.
Makes sense.
Let's kill all the nobles. Got it.
I mean, good luck on that one.
No murdering.
No promises.
Okay, let's.
Actually, I kind of promised, so I won't.
Did promise.
Let's knock out all the nobles. I'll just accidentally critical and, you know.
Hey, if it's an accident, it's fine. Right?
I'll accidentally non-lethal critical and shove
That's
their
not an
shoulder
accident.
through their chest. Hey, that was an accident.
Yeah, but you accidentally critical on a non-lethal, not lethal. There's a difference. You put effort into not killing them, but it did so much damage they ended up dying anyway.
I was also non-lethaling the entire time. I just killed them afterwards.
Just more fucked up, honestly.
Yeah, that's much worse.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
character
a war crime.
reasons.
Black Ops, no witnesses.
They are dead. It's fine. There's
no witnesses in a room full of sick people. Who clearly
That was too
saw
sick
what
to notice.
happened.
Too sick to notice. They're like, what's going on? I'm dying. Probably most of them died anyway. I mean, like, they weren't really in
Hey,
good
we
shape.
made a cure like 2 weeks after that.
No, they're still there dying.
They were just left there.
Everyone forgot about them.
It's just like a mound of corpses in a room that's just smelling really bad and very diseased.
True.
Hey, at least we did release the one guys for the room and didn't just leave them locked into a room to die.
They would have probably tried to escape at some point in time, and probably could have, honestly.
I mean, we could have sealed up the door.
How?
Bricks. I don't know.
Brick them in. That would have taken a lot of time.
Yes, that would have been a lot of time. It would have been loud. It would have been noticeable. But anyway, so yes, if you missed last time, we got into Old Korvosa and we're adventuring there. You've learned a few things. You stopped some assassins. You made friends with a strange snake, who's very snaky. And probably is friendly, maybe.
Is there anything truly friendly in this world?
It's not hostile, at least.
It's currently not hostile. This is true.
It's just weird.
Alright, well, I mean, we're all weird.
Anyway, having finished up at your friend, whose name, you know, I have to look up and scroll to because I'm not, Vencarlo Orsini, his house, which was staked out by Red Mantis assassins, you have met a man who has given you one direction to possibly go, and then you've also got a second one to go in. And I believe you were heading towards the Arconis first. Because the other one, the House of Salvador Scream, because he seems to be someone that was connected with Vencarlo, is, though, in the region near where the Emperor of Old Korvosa is. So I'm guessing we're going to combine those together later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, does it
Let's
take...
talk-
Yeah. Go ahead if you want to have something to say.
Oh, I was going to say, let's talk to some assholes.
It isn't very difficult to head to the Arconis territory. As said to you previously, their section of the city, Fort Korvosa, is basically maintained by them. They don't have a huge guard force, so this section is maybe like a few blocks and their palace, as best describe it. Because
Fort,
were you gonna say something?
just Fort Korvosa or all of Garrison Hill? They control.
The area of Fort Korvosa of Garrison Hill, basically.
Got it. I was just curious because you said the area of Fort Korvosa, and there is a big walled-off area of Fort Korvosa. I was just wondering if it was, but then there's a bigger walled-off area, which is the Garrison Hill. So I was just wondering.
It's like to a lesser degree to Garrison Hill, more intense Fort Korvosa. So it's like those are the multiple layers leading to their place. So they don't really have to worry about gang violence reaching them. They have enough people there, but the gangs don't bother them really. And the people that live in this region are probably the people that mostly work for them and are probably some of the better people in Old Korvosa. But they're also, like, probably not going to wander into the other parts of the Old Korvosa because gang violence.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, it isn't very difficult to reach the Arconin Palace. It is the highest point in all of Old Korvosa, and the grounds are decorated with tiny copses of trees, exotic topiary animals.
I thought you said they were decorated in tiny cops for a second. I'm like, what?
Copses.
Don't
C-O-P-S-E-S.
decorate trees in tiny cops.
Copses. I never say this word right. It's the C-O-P-E.
No, it is cops, but it's just
Yeah, cops.
it's just words sound similar sometimes, or what is that called?
Yeah.
There's a word for that.
Homophone? Is that the right one?
But I think it'd be funnier if it just
I think it
actually
is
had little
homophone.
like fairy-sized cops
Mhm.
decorating the tree.
Yes.
Yep.
The topiary animals are elephants, cobras, tigers being very common, but also a lot of other various types of animals and creatures. There are beautiful flower gardens, exquisite fountains that kind of surround the area around the palace. It itself is certainly...
Who's maintaining these? I say, pointing to the topiaries in the middle of what is basically a war zone.
They have people for that.
I don't like this.
Mm-hmm. The palace itself is built in the Vudrani style of Vudrani palaces, with golden pillars, high windows that rise to taper points, minarets and domes. It's toppered with slender spires. Inside, the walls are made of ebony, carved with depictions of elephants, tigers, monkeys, peacocks, all the shimmering mother of pearl eyes. It's got fine mahogany doors. Each of them is carved with, if someone wants to make a knowledge religion check, that is quite difficult. You might understand it. But it is something on a door.
Religion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if anybody wants to roll.
It's 22, that's a bad one.
Alright. You cannot identify what it is, but it is a 6-armed, 4-faced giant who rides a tiger with human hands for paws.
Alright then.
All right, so kind of moving up to the palace, you are, as you kind of like are approaching what you guess is the main door, a patrol of 6 guards approach you. Excuse me, what are you doing here?
Does someone want to say something?
I nudge you two because you're leading this.
Okay.
We were told to come here to speak to Lord and Lady Arconis.
You were called for. No one informed us of that.
Weird snake thing told us.
He's gonna raise an eyebrow.
I look at you now.
I mean, I open up my bag. Yeah, I open up my bag.
No snake thing comes out.
Oh no.
I say nothing.
I look in your bag and go, hello, Snakey!
I also say nothing.
Anyway.
He continues just to
Go and
raise an
ask-
eyebrow, just kind of like, does this look?
We're
Well,
actually entertainers.
go-
You like our?
Go and ask the lady. She should know. We can wait.
If you have business with the people in charge, we can take you just to a place where you can wait. Follow us, and then we'll send for someone.
Thank you.
You'll be led through the rest of the palace, where you get to see its grand sights. There are exotic plants and clay pots in abundance that fill each room with a kind of strange scents that mingles with sandalwood incense that burns in brass censers. The rooms are lit by torches that it's easy to note they're ever burning. The rooms are very spacious, grand, with ceilings that go up nearly 20 feet high. It is opulent and wealthy to the extreme. You are led into an area of the palace that seems to be a main entrance, where a man will approach you, being basically handed off to him from the guards. And let me give you a image of this man, because I can. And I'll show it here for chat.
Oh yeah, weren't we told to talk to the brother?
You were!
Oh, crap.
Good job.
Look,
I
it's
forgot.
been a week and I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff, okay? I feel at least I remembered eventually.
Yes. Here's the man that approaches you. A very well-chiseled man with an eye patch. Greetings. I'm Kono-chan, the palace major domo. The guards had said that you are here for an audience.
Yes.
If you are
we were
looking to
told
be...
talk-
Yes. Oh, sorry.
we were told to talk to Glono
Glorio?
Glorio, thank you, sorry. Reading my notes from afar.
Uh-huh.
Glorio Arcona.
Oh.
By an associate of Melina. Or
I think it's
Melia. Arcona.
Melia. Thank you. Melia Arcona.
It's normally me that does this, so I'm happy for it not to be
I'm
this.
very tired.
It's fine.
I flew in last night and had to work all day.
He kind of takes a look at you for like a minute or two, and then he kind of goes, well, allow me to speak with the master of the house and see if he has some time for you at this moment. Please wait here. And don't touch anything. He'll excuse himself and head away, leaving it to yourselves for a short period.
Is Snakey still in your bag?
What's this room look like?
He should be, but
Let me
I
give
assume-
a description of this place.
I assume he has a way. I assume he has a way of hiding himself it has a way of hiding itself.
Black marble arches depicting dozens of elephants stand on top, one on top of the frames of great ebony door in the south of this wide and airy entrance hall. That's the door you came in through. Above the door, the elephants look out over the hall. An elephant looks over the hall. Its single eye, a glittering bloodstone the size of an apple. Tall windows grant commanding view of the palace grounds, and a rich red carpet 10 feet wide and luxuriously thick provides a pathway between the doors to the west and north. Around a corner to the east, each of these doors, as well as the 3 smaller ones to the west, there's a lot of doors off this room, are decorated with images of the same 6-armed, 4-faced woman who rides a tiger with human hands for feet.
Interesting. Yeah. Dope.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. After a little bit, though, about 5 minutes of waiting, another man will be accompanying the one you saw earlier. Let me show you his image. And there's a public. And for you folks. There you go. Greetings and welcome to my humble abode. Kana-chan, please, go and arrange for some wine and cheese for our guests. We've kept them waiting for very long. Please accompany me. There's a place that guests may discuss things with me as it was. Kana-chan will be like, forgive me for such a misunderstanding. I will go and arrange that right away. Please, please, come. He'll escort you to a small guest room nearby, like a guest lounge, and kind of like take a seat on one of the many couches and kind of...
Important question.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know about this family as a weirdo? Who's
That's a weirdo.
Oh.
Who's a monk and has no idea who any of these people are? Because I've assumed I've been told nothing.
I didn't mean
Probably nothing about these people other than they are...
A local check.
Yeah, nobility check if you can roll it.
Nobility. Okay. Well, I can't roll nobility because I'm not trained in it.
You might be able to roll history for some brief history of the family.
Okay. We'll take that. That's 14.
Certainly you've heard that this is the family that, of all nobility in Korvosa, is the only one that has influence in Old Korvosa, really. There are probably some minor nobles that household nearby on the hill or in Fort Korvosa territory, but really, if you're talking about people that have power in this region, it is them.
Can I try a local to see if I've heard anything about Glorio?
Sure. Local network.
Ooh, nat 20.
Alright, you would most likely know some of the basics that the Arcona family is a merchant family, first and foremost. They rose to power by creating ties with Vudra, though originally the original members were from here in Korvosa. It did seem as though when they connected up with Vudra, they intermingled with them because
That
the man
makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense now why they were known. Why they were known with the gambling den.
Mhm.
Weren't they from Vudra, the brothers?
There were some, yes, there were the brothers from Vudra too, and recognize that they are from the same region. They have made a lot of money with merchanting from Vudra. Vudra is very far away. It is very exotic. It is, you know,
It's India.
it's yes, it's basically India. It's a region that's effectively very India.
We're Europe.
Ticket.
They're India.
Yeah.
But they got all the spices.
Yeah,
they're shipping them in. So
it's not very subtle.
yeah. I mean, no. The regional connections in a lot of places in Galarian are not subtle that they're connected with. They do not keep the subtlety of, like, this is basically...
Rome analog in this region.
I mean, there was a Rome analog. They've technically fallen out of grace. go visit Taldor if you want to go visit Rome. Anyway, the room he's in has a large fireplace with marble sides, and it's carved into the marble is a parade of capering monkeys and tigers. There's a number of large sofas and comfy-looking chairs. He's going to take a position and then like offer you chairs and couches to sit down yourself.
Thank you.
He'll kind of wait around for like a minute for God. I'll put his name spelled in chat because I don't know if I did it earlier. Karno-chan. For Karno-chan to return, Karno-chan will bring a plate of cheeses and be accompanied by another pair of servants, which will offer you like glasses that are at least fine, like actually made of like glass and very nicely sculpted, and will pour like a wine into it. So what are the heroes of the city here to, for what reason do you seek my audience? Strange that you...
And then a weird old guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, he recognizes some of you because you stand out in his, the Shawanti people stand out a little bit more. Sorry, and the dragon. The dragon really stands out.
One person here who stands out.
I mean, yes. The dragon really stands out a lot. You make it easy to recognize your group. I'm just saying.
Tavel stands out the
actually.
I'm just a normal man.
Tavel is the most recognizable character.
At least Tavel is not fully asleep at the moment.
Yeah, no, Tavel's fine. Tavel's nice and wide awake.
Good boy.
Tavel is a polite man. Sometimes.
Unless you piss him off. Then you get an arrow to your crotch.
Well, what can I do for you? Is there something you need here in Old Korvosa to arrive in the city? With the quarantine, I'm sure it would be very difficult to gain permission. Then again.
Well, we are looking for someone. However, first I would like to ask about the current dynamics in the current, I guess you could say, faction dynamics in this city. You obviously have some power. There's the Emperor.
No.
And is there anyone else vying for power in this section of the city under quarantine?
You are quite rude. Comparing a gang leader to anything of a power basis in this region. But yes, gangs have been running rampant. With things cut off and my resources spread thin, it has been hard to maintain any level of order in any of Old Korvosa. I would wish for the Queen to send assistance in, but it seems as though they continue to need to make sure no disease is spread. I have to figure out how to do this.
I also want to say something there.
I will also say something, but after other next.
I need to check something, and then you people can roll something in a second. And then give me a second to look up how this works, because I never use it. So, I must roll a dice, I believe. Okay.
Roll the dice.
I know. Okay. Right. I think that's it. So I'm going to roll a dice. I'm just going to roll this here. Rolling dice, 7, okay. Let me check what you got as a bonus, buddy. I think I've got your stats somewhere around here. I need a check from people after this. Here in a second. Sorry. Where is that? Where? We don't put his stats at an easy place to find. Sorry. They don't have the stats here. They have it later on in the chapter, so I'm going to find it.
You're good.
Which is just not helpful for... Oh. Okay, that's why. You were in the NPC section. Great. Alright. All the way to NPC section. Thank you.
No.
Okay, never mind. He didn't actually have to roll this. Please make sense motive checks.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. So,
Wow.
you get the hint through this conversation that as he's considering the conversation about Old Korvosa and the Queen for like a minute. At least Ada, Khandes, and Dancing Serpent, Zardris and Tavel will not pick this up. You will both pick up that it seems as though he definitely feels like the Queen is doing bad things for Korvosa overall, and probably has to be removed from power. He's subtly kind of settling it into his conversation. He's not saying it outright.
I also wanted to step in there and go, sorry if my friend here upset you. Comment was not meant in a derogatory manner.
It's an unfortunate thing that what has happened to Old Korvosa has reached this point. With the quarantine and the plague ripping through the parts of the city here, it gave rise to an opportunity for these gangs to form some kind of problem. And that is an issue that we've been trying to handle with. They have been cruel and wicked and merciless to those that are their enemies.
I don't believe the Queen's going to be of any assistance anytime soon, but if there's something we can do to help.
We are unsure of her plans, but we do suspect she knows that the disease is no longer a problem in the city. She
Well-
has other plans for Old Korvosa, and no one knows what they are.
Well, then perhaps I can assist you. You said you were looking for someone. Who? Certainly I can ask of something, but a little bit of return payment, especially if you were going to assist me, means I could look into things in the meantime.
Van Carlo.
The sword instructor.
Master Orsini.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, I could certainly look into the situation with Master Orsini. It would not be a easy thing at the situation, mind you. But nonetheless, I do have an issue that you could assist me with. And in the meantime, I could find out what's going on with Master Orsini. The Swordmaster, as much as he is brazen, is a member of my city and quite useful to the area. He does good for raising up plenty of people that we, as our family, cannot look after. You see, the man you mentioned, this so-called Emperor of Old Korvosa, has been a true thorn in the side for regaining control of Old Korvosa. His nature seems to attract the gangs under him, the mobs under him. If you can remove this Emperor, then I can very easily guess that the mob that controls Old Docks will certainly collapse. Much of the gangs will return to infighting, and then my forces should be able to regain some level of control. It might take time, but we'll have the option for it. Currently, their united forces make it very difficult to do that.
is there any other group attempting to gain power? Or is it just that one?
None have been allowed to by neither my ability to control my parts of the city or by the Emperor's own ability to eliminate those that would be his rivals. So you can see why there really wouldn't be any more.
What do you know of the Emperor?
Very little. Controls old docks. Rules through violence. I hear he has made some form of crude guillotine and sees himself as Emperor of Galt. Truly a monster.
We heard rumor that he owned Playhouse that specialized in violent plays.
I've never heard of that thing, but that might be true. If so, a playwright turned gang leader seems an unusual thing.
Agreed.
I would like to sense motive.
It may not be the same.
Sure.
Or wait, was it? Did we know it? Did we find out it was the same person, or did we just hear it was?
Not one.
Or did we just make an assumption?
I'll sense motive.
Damn.
You heard some stuff that sounded like it was that man.
Got it.
Just trying to get his general vibe right now.
Probably friendly.
There
is a level of seriousness to him when he's talking about the Emperor of Old Korvosa, though. You can tell that.
Like a series of, like, he's a little worried kind of deal.
Probably less worried and more upset.
Okay.
Annoyed someone's hustling in on his racket.
Yeah. As much as
What
he's
about-
probably not a great guy, he doesn't see the downfall of the entire Old Korvosa. He basically wants to rule it like he has been. So, you know.
Can't
And
make money if you're not ruling it.
Yeah.
And what about Bridgefront? Who controls that area?
Gangs under the leadership of the Emperor of Old Korvosa.
I see. So they have Bridgefront and the old docks, and you have Garrison Hill.
Basically, Bridgefront is a little bit more open ground. They don't have full control over it, but I don't have the manpower, as I said, to throw anything against a united front of those gang members and mobs. So,
Very
as
well.
much as they don't have the same control as they have over an old dock, certainly speaking, I can't send men out there to die. We might be
And-
more trained, but we could be overwhelmed by numbers.
And what about some other prominent, I guess you could say, ne'er-do-wells that were once part of Old Korvosa, such as the King of Spiders.
I've heard
People like
nothing.
them.
Heard nothing of him or any other ones. Some have joined with the Emperor, be it out of greed or need for survival, and others have gone underground, at least until things can seemingly clear up. Certainly there's been always a share of criminal elements, the old dock area in particular.
We're just wondering, we're just trying to figure out who and what we may be up against should we attempt to do as you ask and take out this Emperor.
There may be people in the streets which would be willing to assist you. Certainly this Emperor is only liked by those that are in his good favor. I'm sure there's plenty of people that would dislike gang violence. You could certainly ask. They'd be much closer and know much more.
I see. Well, is there... We know where he's held up. And you're willing to help us find Van Carlo in return?
Of course.
And what about Melia. Milana.
My sister? What about her?
Well, apparently she sent someone to tell us. She sent someone to send us to you.
His expression is going to change very dramatically for just a second to like something of like unhappiness, and then kind of like turn back for a second, kind of like put a smile back on. That sly fox. What is she trying?
I think she did tell us not to mention that.
No, she told her not to mention that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
She also said this guy would probably betray you more than her.
Yep.
And you just basically gave her information, which was the probably really bad idea. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll have to ask her personally and look into it.
Look, okay. This is what happens when I'm talking. I only remembered that after I had already said it.
Yeah.
I don't like doing this tired. I feel stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, she did say he'd betray us.
There's a good chance
Makes
of
you
it.
feel better. I forgot about that.
She basically said that he's as trustworthy as he needs to be, but, like, he would see an opportunity to betray you if you open an opportunity to it. She would more likely to work with you because she's like, I'm under the thumb of my brother and I want him higher than that. If you want, because you're forgetting things, we can take a step back from that. Because that was a warning you gave.
I would appreciate that. I'm sorry. I just was like, wait, yeah, I did forget. Like, it's in my notes, but I'm just tired.
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm honestly more tired than I've, like, ever been on this stream.
It's okay.
Okay. Yep.
But, yes, no. He will, allow you to continue eating some fine cheeses and wine if you wish to. And, probably give some small talk. Unless there's any other questions. He certainly seems to be expressing his concern at that horrible display that the Queen had.
Yeah.
I would like to make a note. I say nothing throughout this meeting and more or less just sit with my eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean horrible display the Queen had? Do you mean the, killing of the...
Getting stabbed in the head, probably.
You stabbed in the head,
Yeah.
then taking the arrow out and stabbing a guy in the, the...
Yeah, okay. I figured that's what it was, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So, okay. Well, that explains a lot now. Okay, so she wants us to help the brother. Which means she basically just wants us to do what he wants. Right now, which is kill the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about that later.
Mhm.
As a group. But,
Yes.
So, besides killing this emperor, is there anything else you'd want us to do? While we're wandering around Old Korvosa.
As well as you would ask. Fortunately, most of my business proceedings have been locked up in other areas of the city, so I have not worry about my merchant houses, other than the area I control now. And I am in well condition otherwise. It is now less for myself that I worry, and more for the rest of Korvosa, of Old Korvosa itself, that I can wish that we can oust this terrible man and claim some level of sanity here in the city. I would have hoped for the Queen's support, but it sounds like we aren't getting it anytime soon. Perhaps you can act in her stead. A sign of those in charge of Korvosa are still brave and wonderful people.
Understandable. A noble cause.
Well, if you forgive me, I must really be on my way. There's some more business to attend to. He's going to turn towards his major domo.
As he goes up, because I've noticed that there's a lot of Vudra-esque stuff in this house.
Mhm.
Weird. In Vudrani, which I do speak,
Okay.
I would ask, there's one more thing I would ask personally of you, if possible. Kind of thinking that maybe he knows that language.
I will just. He should, but I'm just gonna make sure.
It's Pathfinder. They might just
He
not
does
give
know
that.
Vudrani.
Okay.
Yes. I was just making sure on his sheet. He'll kind of raise an eyebrow again, kind of fascinated, and then speak back to you in Vudrani. What would you ask?
I am
Shanti
a-
man.
There is a man who was here long ago that I am looking for. A Vudrani noble, I believe, who owned a ship. I'll give the name of the ship. My niece is looking for this information. I would like if I could get information on the ship.
He's going to think for a moment, and then raise like his eyebrow. He certainly is thinking about something. An interesting proposition, but not one I can't arrange information about. May I pry a little bit into why such information?
The man is a vampire.
I'm gonna tell you, like, he doesn't hide that one subtly. He definitely probably already knew that. He was just seeing if you were gonna say that to him.
And the father of my niece.
That he kind of raises his eyebrow about again. That is interesting. Well, I will look into this. It has drawn some fascination.
I'll kind of give a nod.
Mm-hmm. He'll then excuse himself, and of course, his majordomo will continue to watch the area as if you need more wine, the servant people will come and fill your wine glasses unless you would stop them, and there's that tray of cheeses which is kind of moved around to all of you.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. They're exotic cheeses from throughout the inner sea.
I'm sure we're all starving, considering we got here yesterday and probably haven't eaten.
So you probably
yeah,
have
I mean,
Dried goods in the bar.
I did actively buy rations before coming here.
Well, I have rations too, but I mean,
Rations do kind of suck.
yeah,
They do.
rations are okay, but it's not fine cheeses.
No, I know.
Ooh. I do not partake in the fine cheeses.
Okay.
I will
They're
eat
portable
cheese.
and dense versions of calories, basically. They're not tasty. They're just ways to get food.
So yeah, certainly you can enjoy the plate of cheeses. Very good. As an exotic, some of them you probably recognize. Certainly, there's a type of cheese you can find in regions of Cheliax over towards Taldor, which would be very familiar. Some ones from northern Grund, and farther east towards Casmarin, and even probably something that would be of flavor that you would find in Vudra itself. So,
I mean, Cheliax cheese, I just expect to be spicy.
no, it's probably very I gotta admit, it's probably something you'd find in France or England. It's Europe. It's a European cheese. You know.
I know, but
so
just,
so
with-
stinky.
with coming
Very
from
pungent
with their
scent.
ties to hell, that's why I was making
The ties to
it.
hell aren't that old.
Yeah.
Only a couple
feel
hundred
like-
years.
Yeah, and also I feel like ties, demon ties, would have been more spicy.
Yeah. They had a culture before then. It was technically a culture of oppression by Taldane, but that's beside the point. Good old Rome. Or Rome analog from this region.
Basically, right.
They're just roaming around.
Not so much.
Always
the-
looking down.
Anyway, how long do you want to stay? I'm gonna tell you the
leave as
long.
quickly
Pretty much when he leaves, we'll probably leave.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have a couple more slices of cheese.
when I see him leave through the door, I get up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 I might grab
Certainly.
a few more things off the table and then just stuff them in
Yeah.
my bag and then we'll go.
And the
Certainly,
snake eats stuff.
this definitely makes Kamachin, the majordomo, very happy that you're not hanging around because he doesn't have to watch after you then.
Yeah, I wasn't going to just be yeah, let's just sit here for the rest of the night.
He did offer you to
Yeah.
stay and finish some food and stuff,
Yeah.
He did, but it's
We got
and I'd
the-
probably say to Kamo-chan, Karno-chan that it's
we should probably get going then. We have things to do, it seems.
Excellent. I wish you luck on your mission.
Thank you.
He'll escort you out, and then, of course, you are now at the front door. The guards will be around. They will probably see you while you're heading out, but will recognize that you've been there already. So, again, dragon person. They're not expecting a second one.
I will say it took all of Khandes' restraint not to ask Kano-chan about his eye.
I don't know if I actually know what happened to his eye.
Just born without an eye. It's actually a really boring story.
Some people just don't have eyes, yo.
He actually has two functional eyes. He just chooses to wear it for intimidation.
Or maybe he wants to. No, maybe he wants to be ready if he has to fight in the dark.
True.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, you have one eye open, so you flip it up.
It sort of works, but not really.
The thing people supposedly did.
It helps a little bit. Like, Mythbusters did a thing on it, and it actually did allow them to have a modicum of night vision. You have to switch it over, though, so you're only looking through the eye in the dark.
It's not like a helpful thing, though.
So...
It helps, like, a tiny bit.
What I mean is, like, practically speaking, no one would do that kind of thing. You know, the actual idea of it, neat. Practically, no.
I mean, you might if you, like, know you're going to be in an area where the lights can go in and out quickly and have to be in combat regularly.
But then you just have to carry, like, a eye patch with you, because you don't want... Why would you have it on all the time anyway, you know? Because
I agree. It's not something you wear all the time.
Depth perception, I'm going to say. Depth perception. I didn't say it right, but, you know, close enough. Anyway.
Technically, you have depth perception with one eye up to about, like, I think, like a foot.
Did you say death perception? Sorry.
I perceived death.
I went heavy metal there. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that will take us to you folks, I guess. Heading out. Where are you going now?
Didn't you want to go check on your house?
Yes, I did.
It is.
We can swing by there.
Stolen.
We can swing by there as we talk. So, obviously, Melia would like us to take care of this person, Emperor, but would like our Glorio to reward us rather than her. That's my guess so far.
Maybe she wants to keep hands clean.
That could be true too. Well, it seems right now the Emperor also has some ties to Vencarlo, whether or not he is. So it would be good to talk before we attack, at the very least.
If you think about it this way, if we fail and we tell that, you know, her brother sent us, her brother was the one in trouble, not her.
Seems the Emperor has it out for both of them anyway, so I don't think that's the issue. She has a much bigger plan, clearly. Glorio is much smaller thinking. I can tell that much.
Still, she might be using him as patsy.
Patsy is such a strong word.
Snake?
Yeah.
Thanks for backing us up.
By the way, I knew he was here. I didn't say anything that I didn't think you wouldn't be okay with him for hearing.
It did seem like you picked up on some of what's going on, but not quite all of it. You know, it's some sibling rivalry, that's what it is. And certainly speaking, one sibling kind of got a little bit of the high end of the stick when it came to inheriting stuff. And the other one just wants to maybe make a name for themselves, and it's kind of, but has to do it kind of subtly.
Regardless of a sibling rivalry, there is an emperor in our way and an emperor that must be dealt with.
True that.
But again,
Also,
Oh,
don't we
the-
have someone else we wanted to talk to as well?
was there?
I could-
Yes.
wait a minute.
I'm good with that.
Technically speaking, the Emperor has nothing to do with Van Carlo. It was.
Well,
Scream.
yeah. Sorry, the guy. Yeah, Salvatore Scream. Sorry, we assume that the Emperor knows about Salvatore, who knows about Van Carlo.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's why we wanna
Salvador
talk to-
has
yeah.
technically, has theoretically, if you know who the Emperor is, worked for the Emperor, and lives
Yes.
in Old Dock, so it's right in the area anyway.
Yeah. Well, I assume that he has some ties, which we can ask the Emperor about. We might want to actually go to him first, though, if we can find out where he is.
Well, you know where you were given information as where to find Seymour Scream.
Oh, we were?
Yes. If you recall, when you were speaking with the cousin of Gelento, Garen Gelento,
Yep.
he was able, well, Salvador Scream. He was basically able to say, like, hey, I found out where Salvador is. It's an Old Dock. I'm one man.
Okay.
I don't think, I'm one man, and I'm probably, like, a novice at the sword fighting academy. I don't think I'm good to, like, fight my way through gangs to go check it out.
Well, I completely forgot that he told us he knew where Salvatore was. I thought he just told us that he was, oh yeah, he was worked at this place, and we're like, oh, the Emperor also works at that place. So, okay, got it. So he did tell us where Salvatore himself was, not just his ties. Okay,
Mhm.
then we can go talk to him first. Yes, very well. Perhaps talking to Salvatore first might also give us some information about the Emperor that we may need if we're going to fight him. Or
Agreed.
perhaps not.
We could
But-
also see if Spider around.
I assume that's why I asked Glorio about him. He probably is underground or allied with the Emperor. Although
He may-
if we can find him, he may be able to help us but I suspect he'd probably want to take the Emperor's position in exchange. And since we do owe him a favor, I'd rather not go that direction.
If he's in league with the Emperor, he dies like the Emperor. It's that simple.
I agree. That
But
there's...
We could possibly use him to help us get leverage. If he is in league with him, he probably does want to take over.
I agree with this. I say let's put that as a plan B, maybe even plan C. I don't see this as being... The problem is, right now, the gangs want one thing, the Arconas want another. If we replace one gang leader with one organizing gang leader with another organizing gang leader, they'll both be in the same position.
But you turn gangs on each other, they have infighting. Might give chance for Arcona to take over.
That was the plan, I believe, that the brother was hinting at.
Yes, taking out the Emperor would put the gangs back in...
A power vacuum.
Right, but
Yes.
if we can get to Spider, say, and he is in league, we have and he wants to help take over, that could start something.
I worry he has the potential to actually take over. And I'll be honest,
But it would still
I'm
cause distraction for time.
potentially. I don't know about that. I think it's better that he's out of the picture for now, but again, I think it's a good plan B.
Well,
If we
let's see
find
what-
out we need more...
Sorry.
If we find out we need more help fighting this Emperor, locating him is an option. We even know where to start. I doubt he's left his home. I presume it's probably just very well protected. The problem is we owe him a favor, meaning we either help him achieve that, or he calls in that favor. And if he calls in that favor and we say no, then we have a powerful enemy. And if we say yes,
Tavel, simply shoot the man if he asks for a favor.
My point is that yes, killing him is an option. It's probably the best option should we need his help.
These criminals oppress people of the city, and that cannot be stood for. These
I'm
nobles
going
are
to
more
agree.
content to scheme against each other instead of do anything productive.
I think the nobles in some ways hurt the land more, but I also don't think that helping gangs will, in this situation, will be any better. But so I think, especially because Glorio didn't seem to like the Queen very much, and should it need to come to dethroning her, he may be of help. So currently, I think it's better to help the nobles in this current situation.
I am inclined to agree.
Alright, you can find out. Roll me a d20. Let's roll a d20. I want to see something here.
How broken is this house?
Yeah, roll a d20. Let's see what it is. A 5. So Tavel rolled a 5. So you will arrive upon your house. It has been broken into, and it currently seems to have a number of squatters inside.
Better days.
Can I tell? Okay, first off, like, has it been looted? Not that we left a ton of valuables there.
I don't think you really had any valuables in there. I mean, you just like.
I mean, we
sort of
said I think we actively paid like I want to say like 2,000 to like refurbish it.
Yeah, then it's kind of in a little bit of bad shape if you like walk in the broken open and wide open front door.
Yeah. I think I
as soon as you kind of enter, some teenage human girl will kind of pull out a knife and be like, "Hey, get out of this place! It's my place! I found it first."
Well, we're the ones who own the deed. We haven't been able to come back since the quarantine.
Get out! It's my place. You don't live here
Hold
anymore.
up my hand towards her and just like grab her arm and lower it.
Ah! It doesn't take anything.
These people are not. These people can be dangerous. Do not hurt.
Hey, let go of her. I'll get you. Some like a slightly older boy will kind of stand up, from lying down, get up his fists like he's gonna punch at you. Let go of her. You heard her. This is our place.
Who are you?
We moved
What are
in.
you? Minutes.
Why should I tell you
Can I,
anything?
Can I gauge like what kind of people these are? Like, I mean, they're squatters, but are they like, and they're kind of like obviously like, are they just like dumb teenagers that are like poor and hungry and just trying to survive, or are they like thuggish? Is basically what I'm asking.
They don't feel thuggish. I'm gonna tell
Is
you.
the threatening man holding anything?
No, his fists.
I simply ask because, well, you are squatting here. You have left the doors wide open for anyone to walk in while you sleep. And that
No
is
one
not
comes
very
in
secure
here.
or safe.
It's
We just
haunted.
came in here.
But we're not afraid of ghosts.
Oh, if only I had prepared Ghost Screech the spell.
Wait a second. You're the ghost of the dragon that supposedly was killed by the old gypsy lady.
I laugh at Dina.
Hmm.
You're a ghost?
That's a very real ghost, and that ghost is gonna eat you
I poke Ada. Ghost?
if you stay here
You're
any
not
longer.
all ghosts, are you?
How old do these kids look?
I mean, like, probably like late teens. I'm gonna give, generally speaking, like, you know, a just into adult age in the Galarian world.
Walk
You know,
past this man, go into the kitchen, and begin preparing tea.
I was literally going to say, "Are you too hungry?" and start
What?
walking into the kitchen.
what?
You can settle on the couch now, guys. We'll have some
Okay.
food out for you shortly.
All right, you'll be
Someone should get to repairing that door.
you'll be able to defend or learn about runaways. They're Josh and Diana, and they ran away from home after their parents died. Both of their parents died in both sets of their parents died in the plague, and they were kind of adopted by some of the local thuggish people in the area. But they were both in they basically Romeo and Juliet between two gangs, except they're gangs in Old Korvosa, so it's not so actual
Wait, are they
Romeo
gonna
and
start
Juliet.
singing and dancing?
No, the gangs of Old Korvosa.
I can't believe this is the West Side Story.
Oh, I hate
Well,
people.
well, honestly, I'll basically be like, "Well, go ahead and stay here. Just, after we're all done, it's like, well, you can stay here. Just know we will be back.
Thank you,
Eventually.
Dragon Ghost.
It may be a while though, so you have plenty of time."
Fix the door.
Yeah. Yes. And I'll. You know what? Do we have spare keys?
I don't know. Maybe?
Because I know we had multiple people here, so I think I probably would have had multiple keys made up for the house.
Probably.
Probably help them fix the door and give them a key. This will make it easier to get in and out.
Thank you. They're very confused, but they're
Well, we're not gonna be here for
I guess we
probably
can-
another 8 months.
Yeah.
So
I guess we can share a house with the ghosts and its human friends, humanoid friends. No offense.
I pat him on the head.
You're very large. Are you human? Are you some kind of
Yes.
half giant?
Mostly human.
Okay. I don't know. I've heard some weird tales from my father before he passed away, but I also think he was a drunken fisherman, so most of
As
them
I
are
pick my teeth with one of my claws.
From the kitchen, I just say, "I'm a serpent" as I'm washing dishes.
You can take person form? That's so cool! Can we learn to take serpent form?
He also dances.
Anyway, you'll enjoy tea with the squatters that you've now befriended. The teenage squatters.
I'll also repair the front door. I have a
we
multi
missed out
tool,
on
so in
that
theory,
sweet
I could.
XP from those teeth. Dang.
Look, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't completely burnt out inside. I just wanted to know what happened to it.
Look,
Honestly,
Their house now.
I had a 1 in
I'm
4
okay.
chance of what was going
I'm
to
honestly
happen.
kind of okay with that.
Look, the 1 to 5 was there were squatters living in your place, so
I'm kind of more okay with squatters than it being used as an evil thug base or
A drug den.
Just a drug
Yeah.
den to come in and kill everyone in here.
Yeah, so I'm you know what? I'd rather have 2 people squatting in here, and if it ends up being their house in the future, maybe we'll be able to buy our own elsewhere, maybe outside of Old Korvosa.
You're just in a better city than Korvosa, you know?
Yeah, that's probably a good
There
idea
are 2
too.
other ones in this country.
Start our own town.
Yeah.
Well, you
There-
can technically, you can
blackjack
start your
and
own
hookers.
town. There are rules for it.
there are some nicer city-states in this entire region. Just saying. You are...
Kinda sucks.
Yeah, Korvosa does kinda suck. Anyway. Alright. So, after enjoying a little bit of time with the squatters, what is your plan? Head for Salvador's Scream's house? Or something else?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd recommend Salvador Scream, but does anyone else have any ideas?
Going to Salvador Stream, we can at least scout out old docks and not directly fight some asshole with a guillotine.
At the very least, we could possibly get information.
And I mean, if people spot us along the way, we can just beat the shit out of them.
Alright. Then you will head out into the city itself. In towards Old Dock. And certainly, Old Dock is... It isn't super difficult to manage to navigate away from the crowds and mobs and roving gangs. They're not necessarily quiet in what they're doing. But as you're kind of heading through Old Dock and getting into it, give me perception checks, actually.
Perception? I think I technically have that.
I can roll another 3.
Why am I rolling so well as this temporary character? Why can't I roll this well as Savona?
So, I mean, all of you will notice this, but certainly Zardris and Dancing Serpent, you will have the most view of what you are seeing. You are going to see there is kind of skulking through the alleys. Seems to be this kind of older man wearing like what looks to be like a cloth over his face with like poorly cut out eye holes, wearing leather armor which doesn't seem to quite fit him, and the two of you can hear him, justice for everyone, I will claim justice. He's also got like a sword in his hands as he's skulking through the alleys. Defeat the Emperor and save old Korvosa.
Should we save this man?
I have a picture of him without mask. Let me put that up.
Or shall we let him go on his foolhardy quest and die?
I feel like I don't say anything because this guy is a weirdo.
There you go. He's trying to get a level of vigilante, basically.
You there, old man? Are you okay?
What? Oh, who? Ah,
I waved at him.
who? I know how to defend myself. I am the justice that will save old Korvosa.
I walk towards the man.
Who are you?
I extend
You
a
don't
hand
look like
and
a.
shake him.
You don't look like a member of the gangs.
We are not gang members.
Well, they must gain vengeance for those that have been lost. It's because of the Emperor. Everyone I knew is dead. Now I must gain vengeance for them.
Did this man roll on the dark and tragic backstory?
Hey man, every adventure has to start somewhere. It doesn't matter how old you are. This
They
guy's gonna be level
demanded.
20 by the
They
time-
demanded our food and life savings. We resisted, and they paid the price. I watched my daughter die in my hands. Now I will have vengeance for them.
Get 3 to 4 more people, and then get some sort of Outer Planes deity looking after you, who tells you to roll dice, and then you may go somewhere.
What? I don't really understand this.
I believe that was a joke.
Who are you people anyway? Why are you here? You look strange. You're big. Are you a lizard folk?
Close enough.
I haven't asked about that yet.
You look strange. Why you have bag on head?
This handkerchief was my wife's. She died within her pocket. I donned it in order to become the hero that avenges them.
Roll on the sad and tragic backstory table.
I swore I would never use a weapon again when I settled down from my youth, but I picked up the sword my son had, that he died when he resisted the
strength in a number between 1 and 20.
I would say it's probably 12. as I'm probably not an actual vigilante, but a level 1 warrior.
Damn, so impressive.
If I had to quantify things about my strength. Was her name Martha? It could have been.
It's always Martha.
Look, he's got the name Tesh Zaberdin.
He has the most normal name we've ever seen in a Pathfinder game.
He does really. He's just a normal dude who lost his family to tragic backstory.
You know what? I want this man to get vengeance. I believe in him.
Well,
I'm gonna say,
Yes.
if you sense motive, he's probably no match for any kind of thugs.
No.
I don't want to see you get yourself killed.
I think I could take them,
I don't think you could.
but I must get justice.
Justice
someone else
will
get
be
justice for
done.
you.
Do not
We
throw
will get
your life
justice for
away.
you.
The memory of your family will die with you.
He breaks down crying, he's like, my family. Oh.
You must live on for them.
You
Are you here for justice, too?
do
I am here to remove oppression.
save them by remembering them. I mean, it sounds dumb, but it actually is probably like something.
This is the
Then maybe I'm not the hero. He's gonna hold out the sword. But you're the heroes that this city needs. And he's also gonna take off like the handkerchief and hold that out the other hand, so he's got sword in one hand.
you confusedly take both items.
Now I am no longer the great hero of old Korvosa. I'm just old Tesh again. But Tesh knows when he's needed. And heroes that aren't recognizable from old Korvosa might need to know some things. So Tesh is here to help lead you. Where do you need to go? Do you need to find your way?
Salvador
into-
scream.
How high does
Salvador
this
scream.
How many
Oh.
drugs does this man look like he's on?
He, not a lot. He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
I understand. Someone that worked for the Emperor. You're planning on using his information. He's got a key to the Emperor's place that you can use to break into his place. Genius! Why didn't I think of that? All right, I'll lead you the way. Follow me.
What do you know of him?
He's some kind of artist that does creepy art. Everybody seems to like him. Well, everybody that's rich seems to like him. I don't understand his art. I'm not big for art. I really didn't pick up many plays either.
I look at the sword. Does it look like anything remarkable, or is it just
It's just a short
normal
sword.
short
It's not even
sword?
like a long sword or a great sword. It's just a short sword.
I look
just-
towards this old, disheveled man.
Yes.
When the Emperor is dead, I will leave this sword in his corpse for him.
Justice. Alright. He will make it a little easier to find your way to Salvador Scream's place, because, honestly speaking, you have a guide now. Makes it much quicker. And, as much as, he probably would have been very bad about, actually fighting the guards, as he probably knows how to avoid them when he's not getting into the fight with them. Why don't actually, before we get into his house, why don't we take our break here, because it is actually about that time anyway. Then we'll have you arrive at the house of Salvador Scream in Old Dock at 140 Wave Street. So, if you need snack, drink, or bathroom break, go ahead and get those, and we're back in a little bit. As justice is now joined with them.
Tavel so wanted to tell the man, fight for your family, because they're already all dead.
This button here,
Tired.
and this button here, and this button here. Now let's
And
go
for
back.
For some reason, the face while being very tired. It's not the best
Good.
idea.
It's hilarious, so don't worry about it.
I back you up. Don't worry. I have charisma to spare.
You don't want me to be the face because I have 8 charisma.
So yeah.
I have 16.
So arriving at Salvatore
The only
Scream's
social skill
home,
The only
it's
social
a
skill I have is
leaning,
intimidate.
decrepit building located along the Narrows, not far from many now ruined bridges that connect to Old Korvosa to the mainland. So, yeah.
I prefer the wides.
Too bad. You don't get either. There certainly is, like, a dock nearby. It's in disarray, in horrible amounts of it, you know. The entire place is just screaming, man, someone should have really fixed up this place. And the answer is, no one paid to fix up this place. So, what do you want to do? The building just sits there.
Does it look inhabited? Like, are there any, like, lights or, like, lanterns lit or anything?
No.
What time of day is it? I suppose I should ask that first.
Probably at this point in time, like, early afternoon.
Okay.
Are there open windows?
Does it
Or
look boarded up?
windows?
There are some general boards over the windows, but they aren't, like, completely covering them. It looks like just enough to, like, you know, maybe someone decided, I better should make this place look a little defendable from, like, all, like, the looters and stuff, you know, so put a few boards up and then didn't anymore. The building itself, though, looks in... It's not, like... It's fairly dilapidated, you know,
it's an old Korvosa building.
Shit, but livable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to peer through one of the
I want to look
boards.
around to see if there are signs of people watching this building.
Okay.
As I'm peeping through a window, peeping through cracks in the
25 looks
window.
okay.
So the Dancing Serpent, you will kind of take a look around. The place seems pretty quiet. It's a little like, it's kind of on the Narrows, like the road here. It's close to the water's edge, like a bunch of the buildings here. It's got like an old dock, which is mostly not used. The kind of thing that probably runs through this area that would have led to places like, you know, the Spider's Lair and stuff like that, and all those other kind of places along the water's edge here. But there's just another more habited place with like probably more like people's houses. So yeah, you can probably see small signs of people around, but it's pretty quiet, honestly. Like, you get the feeling, especially since you entered Old Dock, it certainly is a lot quieter even than the rest of Old Korvosa. Like, the liveliness level went from, like, when you were in the old fort hill area, pretty lively in comparison, but not, like, super great, to, like, the Bridgeport, where there's, like, some people around, and, like, kids were in the streets, like, playing and stuff, to this area where, yeah, no one really goes out unless you really need a reason to.
Okay.
The window you look in seems not quite dark, but Khandes, it looks to be some kind of hallway inside the building.
How big is this building? Like 2 floors, 1 floor?
Single floor.
Thing.
Like, honestly, like 25 by 25 square almost. It's a little off from that, but that's about what it is. So it's not even like a huge building. It's a single floor. Probably it's got like 2 or 3 rooms. Yeah, 4 at most.
This leads to hallway.
So you're kind of on, the hallway is kind of on the north side. The main entrance seems to be on the west side. And it seems to be kind of like where a wooden walkway kind of eventually integrates into the dock area. So probably if this was like a fishing place, someone would have been like, you know, using the pier that's kind of dilapidated out there for a fishing vessel, some small one, you know, like a small rower or single sail.
I guess I'll try another window.
Okay. It's dark in there.
Oh. Well, I have dark vision.
Okay.
I cast the light spell.
You head to the east side. You can't get a good look at everything, but you think maybe that's a bedroom?
I found a bedroom.
You have to, like, go around the side of the building because you are literally on the other side from where everybody else would be.
Right. Well,
How about we just knock?
I mean, scoping out's not a bad thing to do.
It could be a little creepy to the person inside.
I am going to be honest. I think they're going to be horrified one way or the other because of your presence as a large reptilian creature.
Fine, we can go knock. Most people just think he's folk.
You are quite alien to most.
Also, we are kind of known in the city.
Yeah, I can't think of a good comeback. I was trying. I'm too tired.
You can go knock on the door. There will be no response.
Is it locked?
No.
Maybe he's dead.
I open the door.
Maybe he's not here.
Open the door, you'll enter into a front room of some kind. It's musty, mildewy. There's mud tracked all over the floorboards, basically as if a large number of people had walked into the room. On the south stands an empty empty set of shelves, maybe to put things, like for your boots or something when you enter in. But otherwise, yeah, it looks like a lot of people have been in here, at the very least, and no one cleaned up the mud.
Can I tell if it looks like there was a struggle through all of that?
Survival check.
Okay.
There are muddy tracks. Unfortunately, it is very hard to tell. It does look as though some of the tracks looks like something was dragged out. Or dragged in.
I want to make a perception check just to see if I hear anything
I also
in
like
the
to
house
do that.
moving around.
Sure.
Specifically, I'm going to...
I'm deaf.
I'm going to knock
Bunk
on
your
the
head on the way
wall
in.
and listen for a reaction of any kind. To 26.
I'll just
Okay.
listen with my ears. That
Khan just bunks his head on the way in and is like dazed.
Yeah, those are some good ears.
Zardris, you will hear what sounds like whistling coming from somewhere inside. Very light whistling.
I will quietly explain to the party that there's something here that's whistling. Possibly
Maybe-
a person.
Maybe he busy doing his art.
Be a hole in the wall.
Can I ready my fist?
Okay, so yeah, I will tell you I have a little bit better detail on the survival check for you, Ada. You can tell about how many people were here too. About half a dozen people.
Damn.
Yes. And there was one other person either being drug in or out. You're guessing probably more drug out, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'll execute it.
Yeah, I'll say, well, it seems that this guy was, well, something was either pulled in or out, and by, what seems to be half a dozen people. Did you say a dozen or half a dozen?
Half a dozen.
Okay. It's, so about 6 or 7 people, and a lot of commotion, but, no clear signs of a struggle, although that's kind of hard to tell, with all the footprints going every which way.
Yeah.
I suspect, though, these drag marks here are him being dragged out somewhere.
Maybe we should check on what's whistling.
There's a door that leads deeper into the building here on the back end of this room.
Yeah, I was so focused, like you said, whistling, and I'm like, what? Do I hear it if I, pay attention?
Are we expecting bad things to happen while we're here?
We don't know.
Kind of a... Well,
It might be
given the
incredibly
state...
hostile, we don't know.
Given this state, maybe. I was expecting a discussion, but it seems like, well, whoever might be here might be a little on edge.
Have my deadly, deadly fists at the ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you
I have a hand on my hammer.
Yeah. Are you continuing deeper into the building then?
I will lead the way.
Okay. The door
I'll be
will
second.
lead into the hallway that Khandes saw. You can probably guess Khandes because there's a door straight across from you, and then there's another door down the hall. The door across from you probably is the bedroom you were looking in on. You didn't really see any movement or anything in there, so maybe not coming from there.
That probably bedroom wasn't
Yeah.
anything moving in there.
But there's at least 1 or 2 rooms that are down at the end of the hall where there's another door leading to the south side of the building. Which you didn't look at any of those windows.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I assume it's a narrow hallway, and Serpent, you're in the lead.
Yeah,
So
I
where are you
will
going?
go forward to the first door I see.
Okay. Well, there's the one that's across from, like, right 5 feet in front of you, which
Yeah,
is
the
the
first one I
bedroom.
see.
Yeah, that's the bedroom that Khandes mentioned, or what he assumes is the bedroom. And then there's like 10 feet to your, because it's like you're turning into a hall and it's going off to the side. So off to your right, there's like 10 feet in another door. So it's a very short hall, honestly. Not a big house. Do you want to open the bedroom door?
I will listen first.
Okay.
Where's the button?
Mm-hmm.
It's 29.
Alright, certainly. You now hear the whistling, but it does not sound like it's coming from this bedroom. It seems to be echoing from somewhere to the south. But it's a very light whistling. It's less like someone's like trying to like whistle out loud, and more like they're whistling under their breath when they're doing something, probably.
Okay. I go towards the whistle.
Okay.
With my fists ready for punching.
Alright, you will head down the short hall to the next door. You can tell that the whistling seems to be coming from that room, but other than that, you do not notice anything.
I will kind of like nod and then grab the door handle.
Okay.
I will slowly open the door.
Alright. Inside the room, you will notice that both of its windows are tightly shuttered. Yet the air in here is fresh and scented, because there are 6 large candles that burn within. Each has been affixed with a glob of melted wax to the crown of the gleaming polished skull. Each of these impromptu and grisly candle holders has been placed atop a otherwise clear desk to the west, arranged in a gentle arc. A chair sits before the desk, and careful stack of papers and scrolls sits inside the arc of skulls. To the south stands a nearly empty cabinet shelf, barren save for a few paintbrushes and cracked pottery urns. There is also a woman in here who seems to be polishing while whistling something here. Let me show you what she looks like. That's the one for people. She's polishing a spiked chain.
Okay.
An elven woman.
That's an evil woman.
She's like, "Oh, hello! Welcome! Do you want to take a seat? Hi!"
Hello.
Apologies for
You look
barging in.
familiar.
Who are you?
Oh, hello. So anybody with knowledge religion can give me a knowledge religion check. 'Cause she ain't hiding it. With the armor and the weapon that she's wielding, it's very obvious.
I have to squint to try and look at it.
Yeah. Sorry, that's the best picture I could find. of her. She seems to be a worshipper of Zon Kuthon.
That's an evil guy.
What's a religion?
Just like an evil dude.
Yes, but let me just tell you about Zon Kuthon. He's the god of pain.
He's basically bald.
He's basically bald, yes. Technically lawful evil. So, yeah. Still not a great guy to be worshipping. But
No.
she definitely doesn't hide the fact that she's worshipping a worshipper of Zon Kuthon. Oh, please, if you wish to take seats and such here, I think there are some other chairs that can be gotten out.
Wait, so is it more murder or pain?
I think it's both.
It is the god of... His position is as god of pain is well earned. He's the root of countless tortures, murders, and worse throughout time. He's also... His worship by, his things are... His areas concerned are darkness, envy, loss, and pain.
Oh. Worshipped by masochists and sadists.
Yes.
So that's probably, if you're going for a Faerun equivalent, it's probably Loviatar. It's probably the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Bring pain to the world, mutilate your body.
I'd say he is worse than that one. Although you may not be far off, because under the appearance it does say he is often depicted wearing tight, sexualized leather clothing. You
I
may
mean, it
not be
also is
that
like...
far
Now,
off.
here's the thing about it. He is lawful evil. Consent is important.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
He accepts worshippers who are ready to accept the pain.
Yeah, no, this is Loviatar. This is 100% Loviatar.
Uh-huh.
This is a Cenobite.
Yeah.
That's just a Cenobite from Hellraiser.
She's just this elven lady who apparently worships a Cenobite, and is just hanging out here, polishing her spiked chain, very nonchalantly.
May I ask who you are?
Oh, yes. Hello. My name is Lowry Vaus. Nice to meet you. Who are you? Well, I know that one. That's the, Aren't you Adamant Heart, one of the great heroes of Korvosa? I heard about you at that announcement at the Queen Maid.
I see.
I'm starting to think being recognizable is a problem. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, but who are you? Sorry.
I give this lady my real name. I am Dan.
Well, hello, Dan. Nice to meet you. Are you here looking for Mr. Salvador, too?
Yes.
Oh, goody, goody, goody. Maybe you can assist me. I came looking for him because his art really captures some of the themes of Zargathon, and we wanted to commission him some great artwork. But I got stuck in here in the city after everything with the plague, and when I finally got the chance to kind of go looking for him, what do you know? He's not here.
So you don't... So was all of the mud in the hallway here before you arrived?
Oh, yes.
I see. Well, we came here looking for him as well.
Yes, it took me a while before I could go looking for him, which I really regret, but I had some other business for the faith that I had to take care of first, that I was asked to when I was coming here. Gotta make sure to get everything done you're supposed to first.
Got your
Well,
checklist all marked off?
Exactly.
Have you looked around?
The
for any
checklist is written on her
information?
back, and she marks it off by whipping herself.
I haven't really found much else, but there was something I found. I kind of had taken a look around. I had some time while I was kind of waiting here. And, if you help me find him, I'll give it to you. I don't really need it.
I look towards the group.
I think it's important,
Well-
but I'm not quite sure. I don't really live around here.
What? Wait. So what is it she's saying? Did
She
show
found
us what
something.
it
She said she found something that was very interesting when she looked around here, and she thinks you will be very interested in it.
Well.
So if you help
we
her
wish
find the
to-
artist, she'll be willing to give it to you.
Well, our goals are aligned anyway, so I would not be adverse to a reward for finding this man.
Well, very good. I'll give it to you now. I don't really need it. We can then go looking. Here you go.
So he's bad at making deals.
What is it?
She holds out a piece of cloth.
I'm horrified to touch that.
Does
I'll
anybody
take
does
it.
anybody have knowledge nobility in the entire team at this point in time?
Nope. I very specifically did not pick it up because my character has had no interaction with nobles at all.
It's like an important thing for this that you kind of like
Oh,
lost the
I
person
know
that
it's
had
a-
it.
Bad.
Probably
Uh,
the person who had it is no longer here.
Yes,
Well, we lost the
Person
two
had
people
it
who
hasn't
had
been
it.
here for 2 books.
I know.
I mean, didn't Ivona have it
A
as well?
very small amount.
yeah.
Still better than 0.
Yeah,
Literally no one else has
so-
any.
What it looks like, it seems to be a piece of cloth that's blood-stained. It's hard to recognize it, but certainly speaking, she basically states that it seems to be some kind of government official's uniform.
Well,
She doesn't know what kind of government official.
It's identifiable by a DC 10.
No.
But I cannot roll for anything.
Yes.
Does it look like it's Red Mantis related?
You have no idea because no one has the check.
I looked at it.
I mean, you could find someone that could... You could ask someone that might know.
Could I get information
One
with
of the
knowledge
Arconas.
local?
This would definitely not be knowledge local for what this is. Okay, the knowledge local will tell you that you do recognize this as a part of a Korvosan uniform of some kind of government official. So this is like a bloody piece of cloth that Salvador Scream had hidden in his room to some kind of government official. That single something important.
I'm gonna say, I'll be right back. I need to find Chamber Pot.
Okay.
I'm going to go to his bedroom and take a 20 in there and see if I can find anything of use.
No, there doesn't seem to be anything else.
Okay.
There does seem to be more like footprints and mud around, but yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah, you're gone for a while.
Yeah, that's fine. I figured, you know.
She also
guys
she's
talk
also
to her.
fairly sure that Salvador is being held by the Emperor of Old Korvosa, but she's not quite sure how to rescue him. She's been kind of pondering
Okay.
that.
Well, it seems like, man, it's almost as if there's some dice-rolling deity who wants us to go kill the Emperor.
I mean,
would have said it's some kind of book.
I mean, once I come back, I'm going to suggest maybe we should seek Spider. He at least might be able to get information from him.
I want to check something.
You showing more favors to a criminal may not be the best idea at this point in time.
I'm inclined to agree. I think
Not
we should go
saying
back to the
anything.
Arconas and ask what this might be, I say, holding up the bloodstained cloth. They, whoever this belongs to, may have the answers we seek.
Have I seen your card ghost?
Probably
no.
not.
Oh, wait.
You could use Card
What
Ghost.
what
I forgot
about
about Card
Lady?
Ghost.
What
Yeah.
about Undead Lady? Maybe she might know
You're
something?
right. I pull out the deck. I
Okay.
forget how this works. Hold on, let me read this.
Give
I
me a
actually
moment to look up what the deck's full thing is again.
I actually have it in my sheet, by the way.
Oh, good.
Curious.
That's helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just go to Possessed Tarot deck in my sheet, and I got the whole description. Including intelligence and stuff.
Why don't you ping it so we can all...
Actually, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Super long, but...
She can use Major Image, she can cast Identify, but she could also Harrow something to a degree.
Mhm. I mean, we can also just talk to her, so I can be like, "Hey, you lived in this city. Do you know what this is?"
God, Would she know? She might. She might have like a rank in knowledge nobility because she was she might have had to handle some of them before, you know.
Yeah, I mean, she might have read with nobles.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because she can she can communicate telepathically with whoever holds the deck, right?
She can communicate empathically, but she can use major
okay,
image.
so she has to use major image to talk. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll basically.
Not like we use it that often.
Well, that's
No, I know.
That's actually not a bad roll.
I'll mention this when we're done, but I find this very silly.
It's the thing is like you can find this information out, but it's also like.
I mean, it's either her or the Arconas.
It's a weird thing that I forgot that like this was a knowledge nobility check, and I didn't think of like any other good checks for it, which kind of sucks. I forgot about this check. Anyway, certainly she will manifest herself as you kind of ask about it, as she'll kind of like look into it. So it's like, and Miss Laurie is kind of like. Ooh, like you're like ghost, you know, kind of enraptured by a little bit. She'll give a kind of reading on the thing itself before, you know, revealing to you what information she knows. Kind of speaking with you. Everything is fragmented from my existence from before. It is the oddity of being now a deck of cards. Most oftentimes, everything is in a kind of haze, a slumber. So it's taking me a minute to warm my mind up now that I'm using my magic to manifest myself.
If you wish us to call you more often so you can get a look of the world, let us know.
It would be nice, but not required. In between,
Understood.
It is more of a slumber, where I can sense, generally speaking, what's going on, to a degree. But it hazed. Though this is only magical, I do now possess eyes, ears, mouth, the sort of things. Granted, the senses are seemingly fake, but still. That does seem to be a noble person's uniform, and a very interesting part of one, too. I do not know how important it is, but this crest here, that's partially covered in blood, is one that, tells me the one that once used this uniform was the Seneschal of Castle Korvosa.
The Seneschal was here. Where'd you find this blood-stained fabric?
She'll show you where it was in the bedroom. It was kind of hidden in like behind something on the wall, like a painting on the wall.
Well, it seems that the Seneschal may be in far more danger than we thought.
You only saw the footprints of one person being drug out, though.
I know, but I mean, unless they faked his death, but I kind of doubt that. Because then we would know about it.
Well, we should travel together. I'll join you on your adventure.
I look at the group like, I'm okay with it. How about you guys?
No.
I cannot.
I shrug.
Okay, so it's
Seems
the lawful
sweet, but I'm not so
or the-
sure about religious people.
neutral good and lawful evil worshippers in the party. Could be fun.
If you wish to bring her along, it makes no difference to me.
Well,
You may be useful.
what god do you worship again?
Whom?
Lightning?
Oh, lightning. Sarenrae.
Yeah.
Fucking yeeted the cat.
Look, she
Sun
wanted to
God.
get off. She got
Yeah,
yeeted.
they're all about like killing
bad.
undead and redemption.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
you're
this is
technically
just like-
you're technically not Zon-Kuthon's enemy. Now, if you were a worshiper of Selin, man.
This, to be fair, this lady's just like into BDSM.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you might be able to
Evil
try to
BDSM.
redeem her.
I'm not gonna lie. If you befriend her and you can learn spells, she's got one she can teach you.
What is it?
Sadomasochism, the
Nice.
spell.
That's
It's
a
her favorite.
spell?
It's her favorite spell, and it's
I
here.
don't want to know what it does.
What the? I'm
Nice.
looking this up.
Yup.
Wow.
I really enjoy the fact that they're like, anyway, the professor, she'll teach her favorite spell. She's really willing to. Don't you go in there. Don't you go in there. Don't try to go behind a computer. You. I'll grab you again.
It's a weird spell. Just tell you that much.
I grabbed you again.
It's a cat.
Meow. Oh,
Which
Foggy.
one is that?
it's
That
foggy.
is weird, yes.
She's very upset now that she's been grabbed. She's like, damn it, I've been grabbed. Foggy.
Why is that a spell?
You can jump in.
I mean, there's weirder spells.
There are weirder spells.
It's
It's a-
Pathfinder. If it's a thing that you've thought of, it's in Pathfinder.
There's a sex cleric in Pathfinder.
There's a sex cleric. I mean,
Sexy cleric.
she's
Okay.
technically a sadist cleric. That
He's
wants to
just
hang out with...
into BDSM.
Yeah.
You know what?
Sure, come along.
Yeah. Congratulations, you've recruited the... She's a 10th level cleric of Zon-Kuthon. Or, sorry, 11th level.
Maybe
No
she'll
kink
die in
shame
the
here.
ensuing combat.
Always the possibility.
As long as she doesn't make any undead, I don't care.
I don't think she can do that. Nope.
No
It's not
king
within her
shaming
dodge
here.
purview, so...
Nope. I mean, she... Technically, what she normally summons with one of her summoned monsters are shadows, but I think that's summon monster
Right.
spell. Anyway, so yes, she's joined your party. Boo-doo-doo-doo?
Oh,
I mean,
I guess if
Why not?
someone's into it, you know...
huh? What?
I
I'd be into
forgot
it.
the nipple cleanse.
She didn't.
You get angry, you take reduced damage.
Actually, yeah, that would pair well with like a
Barbarian.
barbarian. Yeah.
But also, like, you know, like, she is a little off-putting. She's incredibly cheerful. Like,
That's the weird thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that
She-
is the weird thing.
She is incredibly cheerful, like, and, like, smiles and happy times, and, like, you know, you're pretty sure there's butterflies that would fly in there. Whether those butterflies would survive very
hobby-
long.
Your hobby's your job, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you what is it? When you love your job, you never work a day in your life or whatever.
All
Something like
right.
that.
Before we leave, I'm going to look around this room quickly, see if there might be anything else.
I will assist you.
The only thing she will say is not to go in the one room, because there's some kind of, like, fungus growing in there. It seems dangerous.
Which room?
The only room that you haven't entered, there's a room off of this one, which is seemingly like probably Scream's studio that she's taken over.
Can I take a peek in there and try and identify the?
I mean, if you want to roll knowledge nature, sure.
Is it magical based mold or anything? I'll ask the
Oh, I thought it'd be dungeoneering. I have nature as well, though.
I can assist you
I-
on nature.
I mean,
it's a.
how about I
think
assist you on
it's
nature?
I think it's
19 then if you're assisting me.
it's yellow mold.
Got it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yep. Immediately close the
I
door.
remember getting something in a jar and then someone accidentally breathing it in.
Is that the one that looks like gold coins?
Yellow, I think.
I don't know.
With the perception,
that I did. Did we find anything else in the room?
Let me just check if there's anything else in the room, just to make sure.
I'll also.
You said you were
give
going
it-
to assist, or did you
Well,
want to roll your
I'll
own?
do a proper roll of my own.
Yeah, I get plus 11. I think you get plus
Yeah.
4.
Not really. There doesn't seem to be anything else in the room.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't really anything else in the horrible fungal room. No, you will find something. In amongst the painting supplies, there seems to be a jar that looks to be maybe magical.
Not the jar.
Can she identify things?
Your deck of cards can identify things, yes.
I can cast detect magic.
It's magical.
Whoa, it's magical.
Hey, man, it
What kind
looks...
of magic is it?
I would have to look that up.
Or we could just say we use the deck of cards and identify.
I mean, I would still figure out the aura at the same time, because
Yeah.
I have no idea what this does.
Oh yeah, that identify might come in handy now that we don't have our wizard.
Yes.
Either the wizard can't cast identify anyways, or it's because they can't do detect magic or anything. So it's really hard for a voter to actually identify items.
It's conjuration, and you will identify it as a jar of marvelous pigments.
Might be worth something.
You can paint with it, and it creates things.
Worth like 4,000 gold.
Yes.
I'll nab it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Wait, did you say it was in the room with the mold?
No.
Okay.
It's magic paint.
Magic paint.
Well, I guess it can go on the group list to sell later.
It can be used to just create objects. By the way.
Yeah. It's a fabrication paint, if you really want to use it.
Oh.
It requires.
Yeah, but you do need a craft painting skill to
Yeah,
use.
you have to do actual like check to paint it.
So yeah, not great for this group.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fantastic artist.
Mhm.
Yup. Fantastic. All right. So what's
This
the
is
plan?
in D&D. You're not allowed to have hobbies if you also want to actually have talent.
Just imagine this is like the extent of what Khandes can do.
I think I could do slightly better than that.
Slightly.
I have a decent dexterity at least.
This is in the Discord chat, by the way.
I'll have to see it later
Post
then.
it, so- Yeah. It's stick figure-ish. It's slightly better than stick
An
figure.
Oblivion reference.
Yeah, I recognize it, but I don't remember where that is or what it's for. But I recognize it.
Reading the fighter skill quest line. Alright, let's set off to go find this man, I guess.
Murder.
Maybe
Oh,
we should
boy.
try to see if we can get information.
Here I go
before
killing again.
There I
walking
go
into the
killing again.
Emperor's den.
There we go.
Yeah, what-
Kill him
Do
again.
we want like to scout information? We probably should scout first.
Scouting's fun.
I mean, it's diplomacy check
Scouting's
to
smart.
gather information, right?
Well, you guys can gather at Tavel, and I can go and scout. I assume Tavel has stealth.
Yes.
Okay.
And just get her out from a distance.
Sure.
I zoned out for a second. What happened?
Take a look at the theater. The theater.
Oh, we're gonna go
Stealthing
scope it
or-
out. Got it.
We're gonna go scope it out, and then if you guys want to gather info with
I'm
checks,
gonna go gather information.
do that.
'Cause
I'll
I can
assist
stealth.
Khandes. I automatically assist. I don't have to roll.
Nice.
I automatically assist too. I get a plus 15. What do you get?
Me
plus?
too. So it doesn't matter
Okay.
who rolls.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Wait, so what's the roll for scoping this place out?
I guess a perception check.
I'm doing it stealthily.
Yeah, stealth and perception. Then I guess.
If I take off my armor, I automatically assist.
It's a 33 stealth
Okay.
from me, and then
A
perception
36.
25 perception, not great.
Okay.
Well, you could be like flying around if you wanted to.
I could.
I don't know. That's a significant. That's a little bit better than that.
Although, based on the events of today, I've realized I'm extremely obvious.
Urban, so like, you don't have that +4 in it.
Look, you already got famous when you saved the city with the plague. Plus, you are uniquely looking, so you stand out.
You have a few
Yep,
downsides.
but I just my character is now realizing this and is all like, maybe I shouldn't go like sneaking into a place because it'll be obvious who I am.
So the streets surrounding the palace of the Emperor are littered with bodies, rubble, and refuse. Feral dogs, sturges, train spiders, and other vermin scatter about with a bravery not seen in the city before the quarantine. The further you go into Old Dock and the closer to the palace, the fewer people are appearing from behind the boarded windows. Certainly, as I was talking about before. And the signs of the mob that controls this place grow. Vandalism, brutalized bodies hung on display, remnants of fires, and other evidence of public violence are everywhere. The palace itself is located on 11 Silk Street in Old Dock. A collection of tenements and abandoned stores that barely escaped destruction during a recent fire that consumed much of the city block to the west. It consists of 6 buildings, the lower floors which have been gutted and destroyed by mob violence, and the upper floors of what looks to be the north building remain intact. Some of them only have roofs remaining in shells, so you can easily see. Certainly not. This isn't enough for the entire mob to be here, but there are plenty of individuals that are just milling about. So yeah.
Okay.
For those of you that are asking around, please give me your diplomacy check. If you, I didn't see you do it earlier, unless I missed it. Let me
Wait, that's the wrong thing.
That's the wrong skill.
That's a disabled device, which is different.
I rolled a 29. You said you're assisting.
Yeah, so that's a +2.
31
So
base.
31.
So you will certainly know that Piltz Swastrel is indeed the Emperor of Old Korvosa. You will confirm that. He has built a reputation and using basically the charisma he had in the theater to build his entourage, to recruit people. His mobs are fanatical within Old Dock, and they're always looking to constrict more to his cause. And if you resist when they try to recruit you, they still capture you for other reasons.
Which is probably what happened to Scream.
Mm-hmm. The Emperor sees Old Korvosa as his entire stage. He forces his prisoners to take part in violent, deadly games or gruesome performances, pitting them against each other and against most of his fierce pets and followers. Others he'll simply just behead with his favorite toy, his extravagant guillotine called Tall Knife.
Where did he get the thing?
I
built it.
Maybe built it. Maybe he actually had it as like a prop, honestly.
Oh,
Prop and then like
that makes a lot of
an
sense.
actual guillotine.
Yeah, it might have been like a prop guillotine that they just added an actual blade to. Then,
Yep.
If you wish to have audience with him, you must first earn his respect by providing him with entertainment. As of late, his favorite entertainment is a brutal game he invented called Blood Pig. And he's converted a large rooftop in his palace to a playing field for this game, and the howls and screams of those playing and watching can be heard throughout Old Dock every evening.
What's Blood Pig?
I would have to look up how the game is played. It's a horrible game he invented.
I was thinking I could possibly...
Yeah, let me see if I can find Blood Pig.
Blood Pig is a violent physical sport popular in Old Korvosa, wherein 2 unarmed teams of 8 players earn points by snatching a live pig and throwing, punting, or dropping it into a pit, hitting hungry wolverines.
Oh my god! What the hell?
Yep.
Jesus.
What?
There is art for it.
You throw pigs into pits of hungry wolverines.
There is official art for it.
I see there is the art of like a dwarf trying to like carry a pig.
I think that's one of the iconic characters.
So, yes. That's Blood Pig.
Oh, it's ours.
So, you know, I do love their stats. They give me like the CR for piglets, as many as you need. It says. Your young pigs, CR is slashed. They earn the CR. I don't think they're a threat.
I mean, I could offer to do that to try to get it so that...
Oh, we need 8 people. We have
Well,
less
6.
than that.
You have 7,
I
technically.
refuse to partake in that.
Yeah, I don't
sport.
think the good. I also don't think I would want to partake in throwing pigs to wolverines. That feels a
So
little
5.
messed up.
Your evil cleric would. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, she'd love it.
yes, she would. I don't. You might not.
Where could we get
need-
3 more players?
You might be able to get by without a full team, but like it might be more difficult.
I don't think we should do this.
Sounds like fun,
I
honestly.
feel like this is the wrong way to go about this.
It
Like
is-
morally, you know.
It is an option that I have stats for. Whether or not you take that option, completely up to you.
I mean,
not
8
opposed.
8 is not opposed to it either.
I mean, Wolverines need to eat too.
I mean, you don't have to punt the piglets into the wolverines. You can just give them to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it might be harder. I mean,
It's live pigs, and you're basically playing football with a live pig and spiking it to a wolverine. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a game.
Sounds
It's a
like
weird
evil.
game.
It is a very evil game, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think it's necessarily evil.
It's a blood
Right.
sport.
Pretty evil.
It's very least a blood sport.
It's a blood sport. I don't know if it would be evil. It's definitely not good. But I don't know if it would be evil. Now, if you were punting like orphans into the Wolverines, that would be evil.
And people do eat piglets, so do wolverines.
8 is more of the neutral, where she does both good and bad, rather than
Again, up to
stays-
you what you want to do, but you've learned about that, and that's the thing. So you know how to get favor and an audience with the Emperor if you want to talk to him directly.
I don't think we should talk to this guy.
But that you do not need to do that if you'd want to go about this a different way.
I will
There-
bring it up to the group as an option.
There are a lot of thugs around the area, but that doesn't mean you couldn't overpower them. They are thugs.
I mean, that's not a bad option either, because it would be cleaning up old Korvosa.
Let me.
I wonder if those children who we let loose on the streets remember us. Maybe we could get their help.
I wouldn't. I don't feel right asking children to do a blood
How,
sport.
What children? What now?
to do a blood sport.
how gently is old dog? Yeah, the bits of old Korvosa.
I mean, fairly dense. Let me just check what this is. I've got a map. I'm trying to reveal the map, but I'm trying to see what you would see because okay, that's just open. So those are open.
Also, I do want to ask around while we're talking to people if
Mhm.
anyone knows what happened to the spider.
The spider still controls this area. He has managed to basically tithe the Emperor, and his his area being as defended as it can be makes it very difficult to attack. They don't have necessarily the numbers to protect it, but
they have a good defense location.
it's one way in to a bunch of boats.
Him to help us. Go for it.
Yeah.
It's a defensible location, making it so a smaller group can take on a larger group
I'm moving you over
in
to
defense
here.
only.
Let me move over to the battle map briefly. So people
Well,
can
it's
see.
this place.
And then he
So
also
this
placates
is
them
the
by 10.
palace. This is what you
pay.
saw.
Palace?
So here, this big thing here that I'm poking at,
Pig.
that's Blood Pig. These are just some rooftops of like destroyed buildings, and these these buildings over here, where I'm kind of pigging, are the ones that you can go inside of that have still functioning rooftops.
I don't know why I was
Oh,
like
so-
this bigger. I don't know why I thought.
Yeah, I kinda thought
a
the-
bigger
the-
place.
Yeah, I kind of thought the whole weird art hall would be bigger. Or is this just the front? Because it looks like there's steps over here leading up to somewhere else.
Yeah, this is not the theater. The theater is not part of his palace.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood then.
Yes, he owns the theater. The theater is nearby, but this is his palace he built out of basically a bunch of buildings. You were assuming his palace was the theater, but no, apparently
Yes.
he still
Good to
he
know.
kept his theater separate because that's his
Yeah.
place where he can have shows if he wants to have them still. But also like he turned this into like a big arena for
How-
like Blood Pig.
How close by is the theater?
You know what? These steps at the top, that leads to the theater. That's how close by.
Hey
it is.
guys, wanna know my plan?
Mhm.
What if we set the theater
the
on
the-
fire?
Well, the problem is we don't know where he's keeping the people
Start
we
a
need.
small controlled fire near the theater.
Um,
It would rush people to go put it out.
I am
It
going to say
would cause panic, which could help.
the theater is actually in bad shape, and it looks like it had been partially burnt down recently too. You're guessing when you heard about that there was the reason this area was kind of half abandoned and is destroyed like it was there was a big fire in this block.
Started to make a fire.
Mm-hmm. Probably like right before the plague, during that like anarchy thing that was going on for a while.
I have basically two thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is completely out of character because my character doesn't know shit about you people. You can actually the spider guy, you can ask him. Khandes was a dock worker. Try and rally dock workers.
The docks in Korvosa really aren't as used.
But there still might be stronger dock workers we could help.
There might be some dock workers, but
Yeah, but the dock workers of like Old Korvosa are like really poor fishermen. And a lot of the docks are kind of just because they're really not used.
Abandoned.
It's really abandoned, and a lot of abandoned boats and stuff. So
it's not impossible to recruit them if you wanted to try.
yeah, but there would be some, just not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we filled out our team.
I mean, the Blight Pig thing is interesting, but
I was making
I just-
a joke there.
I know. As much as I'd love to try it, I think it might be better to pass. I'm not entirely sure. It puts a lot on a game. And then what do we do after that? Talk to him? Ask him for the people back? He'll probably say no. We don't know what he wants with them. It might be better to go and try and talk to them and then kill him if things go south, rather than try and play a sport to placate him.
The idea of the sport would be to get audience with him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's how you gain an audience with him. Is you
got it.
Because he wants entertainment.
entertain him, and then he's willing to entertain you.
Got it.
I mean, the three options I see are Blood Pig, just beat the shit out of everyone, or try to get the spider involved.
Well, as long as they don't know we're there for... Oh gosh, how many people do they have? Probably a lot.
From your scouting, you would guess that at its minimum, you probably would have a couple dozen people at least around at any time. after that, it depends on what's going on. Like, while there's a blood pig going, there's probably a larger crowd of people. So, like, in the evenings would be a terrible time to go up. So probably, like, around now, because we're probably getting into the afternoon, evening, this would probably be the worst time to go, because the most people would be hanging out there, ready for blood pig. During the night, you might have less people, but also there might be more sleeping people. You might have more people, but more sleeping people, because everybody that stays there would probably be staying there.
On the counterpoint, though, if a lot of them are watching Blood Pig, it might be easier to take out
A large swath
guards.
of them at once.
Or the guards first.
If we can do
that
it
are
quietly.
still around. Yeah.
Problem is there isn't. Problem is in this game there isn't much in the way of easy ways to quickly take down people who have more than basic hit points. I don't know why I said that in character.
Let the Wolverines free.
That'd be fun. They probably only feed them during Blood Pig.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna point out something too. You could see that over here, you didn't really get a good sight of it, but there seems to be like a large opening in the side of this building. So you're guessing there's like more like a balcony to watch the sports from. Over at this one, if you can see.
Okay.
Yeah. You weren't able to get a good angle on that area to see what's in the side there, but you would guess that most likely that would be the kind of area that probably Emperor would watch the games from.
Okay. So, how do we? Let's
also,
let's
like,
ask ourselves this.
These things are all like above the ground floor. I'm gonna say, like, because these are like rooftops where the bottom floor is just destroyed and burnt out and stuff like that. So there's really nothing down there. And
Let's
This is the
ask
ground
ourselves
floor
this: how do we expect to find the people we're looking for after we kill him? I don't think he's. Well, he may attempt to guillotine them at some point. It's possible they've already been guillotined, but so we should do this sooner rather than later. However, we don't know where he'd be keeping them. So we could try and talk to him to find that out, but I don't think he'd just tell us. We could then play Blood Pig to get close to him, but we might as well just attack him anyway. How do we expect to find the people? We could just... How do we expect to find the people we're trying to look for? I think that's the better question to ask.
They're probably in one of the buildings.
Yes, but how do we get them out? Do we barter for them with... Do we attack? Do we siege, or do we attack and then free them?
I will tell you, there is one ground floor door, over here.
There's a hole over here too.
That is actually a hole up towards the roof.
On the second
top.
floor.
Yep. Second.
Oh, okay.
There's the thing.
There is rubble. You could probably climb up it. Yes.
Climbing it, right?
Yeah. You could probably climb into it.
And
yes.
And I can fly, so that's also helpful.
Yeah. But it is. But yeah, it's not impossible. It's a hole there. It's just I'm making sure you know it's the second floor. Yeah. Because again,
on the upside, they can't use them as hostages because they don't know we're here for them. Necessarily. They might be able to find out if we wait a few days, as the word might get around, but I don't think it'll get around that quickly.
Well, like I said, there's always an option with Spider. If we can convince him to attack, we use them as distraction.
I think a small surprise attack with us could
Look to
do what we need.
our evil cleric friend.
Hello. Need my
Do you
assistance?
possess any magics that could incapacitate a large number of people?
Incapacitate.
Distract them with suffering and pain.
Oh, well, I mean, a
take them out of action.
Sorry, I had to go to the right page for the spell list. I went to the wrong page for the spell list. There's a spell list. Let me see here.
Yeah, at this point, I think attacking is the best option because we get nothing by talking to him. We already know he probably has some people that we want. Actually, he might not be the one who took the people, but
He probably is, especially the artist.
he most likely. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh no, actually, she told us that he took the artist. So we know he has the artist. The artist knows about Vencarlo. So as long as we can get the artist, we can learn more about Vencarlo. Yeah. So I actually think we know he has him. I mean, we could try bartering for him if we want, but we don't know what. But we want to kill this guy anyway to just help the town recover.
He kind of sucks.
Yeah. So part of me is just like, let's
Plus, we'd be
figure out how
taking
to
out
attack.
a bunch of low-life
Thugs.
criminals.
Well, there is something I can do to get you inside there if you want. It's not super accurate, so that's why I wasn't thinking about using it. But I could take us to the plane of shadow temporarily. AKA, she can cast Shadow Walk.
That's not a bad idea.
She could get you into a room, but it's in the plane of shadows, so it's like a shadow version of the room, so you don't really know what's there or who's there, so it is dangerous. So she wasn't gonna... She's a little crazy, but not suicidal. She wasn't gonna do that on her own, you know. But like with you, it's a large group of people.
It also, but if there are people in there, you kind of surprise them.
Yes, but I'm only saying it's one person versus like having
Well, yeah, no, I meant
six
if
people.
we all go.
Yeah. That's why like
Yeah.
it's on the table now that you're all there, rather than like
Shadow walk.
If
floor.
Yes, that could be a way in, or it could also be a way out. Should we get into trouble?
she of course has sadomasochism memorized because why not?
I think it'd
She
be
always prepares that spell.
I think Shadow Walk in while Blood Pig going on. Most people are going to be watching that minimal guard guarding prisoners. We have to make lucky guess where they are.
I would assume they'd be on an upper floor in the, well, I would assume a lower floor in the burned out chapel, although he doesn't seem to be using
The
that
lower
for
floors don't exist except for one
business.
room. Yeah. They're all upper floors. I'm just noting this.
No, like, sorry, I said chapel in the theater. Like,
Oh.
if he's using the theater, I presume they'd be in a basement there. Otherwise, they'd be probably in an upper floor in the, probably the secondary building, if I had to guess.
Yeah, like of these buildings, most of the floors here are damaged and everything's shut. Like the bottom floor of this one, like it's been definitely shut down. Kind of, you can tell it's not really in good shape. Same with this one. This is the only building
said-
with a relatively decent bottom floor. Basically,
So-
it's like they've built a castle on stilts, except it's the wreckage of a bunch of buildings.
Okay,
Oh.
so this one is the only entrance as well?
Ground floor entrance.
Okay.
Probably
Question.
they have like a ladder or somewhere they can throw down, but yeah.
With the scouting, did you guys see the guillotine?
No.
I assume they roll it out.
That would be an option to roll it out to like here in between games. It is bloodstained, but that also has lots of
Yeah.
dead
Blood
pigs.
sport. It's a blood sport.
It's a blood sport. Yeah.
I'm guessing the cages are where the pigs are, and the holes are where the
Wolverines are.
Wolverines are.
No. I can tell you exactly. Good thing. Let me go back to.
I assume, yeah, these are the.
Pig.
This is the cage. I assume we're talking about.
Yeah, let me take a look here. It is the. There's the pits.
Yeah, the pits.
Okay,
I thought-
so
yeah.
the cages are where the pigs start from. So like you'd gather pigs
Right.
from like these things, and then you'd or they'd be like released from there. And these pits are
Suck
where
'em
the
down
wolf,
the holes. Yeah,
where
that's what I was saying. That's what I said.
where starving wolverines are down there.
Yeah,
They-
that's what I said.
Yeah.
The holes are where the wolverines are, and the cages are where the pigs are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is this? Is this a is what is this? Is this a cage?
Wreckage.
of some kind?
Just wreckage.
Wreckage. Okay.
Yeah, the
Just
place is
wreckage.
again. This is like entire like block of area was kind of like burned partially at one point, and like these buildings have been kind of gutted. Like everything here is a second floor, but like this is like a one-story building, and this is built onto the rooftop. These are like rooftops nearby that access seating. So like when blood pigs being things, people go sit on these roofs over here, like the crowds, you know. So there probably is like.
I say we walk into the. Oh, sorry.
I was saying there is probably like a ladders or something that they put down or something, you know, but they are slightly more defendable by having only one entrance that is probably locked up, you know, one actual entrance or sealed up or something.
I say during Bloodsport, we shadow walk
Sneak
into the
in.
building.
You will have to tell me where you want to go then.
I would say this
I'm-
building. And
Oh no,
we can-
I when I realized that he said this is the ground floor one, I assume this one goes up a floor, and then connects to this one, which then
Yes.
connects to this one, and this
like-
is the main building.
Yeah, like this. Oh, yeah, you're right. Like down here looks like it would be the main building because these three are the only ones that have it inside. You know,
Yeah.
Each of these
So-
like is very small
Yeah.
over here.
Well, what I was
So I
thinking is
presume the
that-
cage is in this building.
Well, what I was thinking though is if we go and shadow walk into here, there's probably not going to be a lot of people on that ground floor. We could
The
try.
problem is we'd have to walk the farthest to try and get anywhere. I doubt they'd be keeping the prisoners right next to the entrance.
But what I'm thinking is, if we can capture one of them and get the definite information, are they here? Are they in the theater? That gives us where we need to go.
Then we could shadow walk in, shadow walk out with him. I mean,
she
there's
only has
probably-
one Shadow Rock memorized, so unless you want to wait a day, she could switch.
Well,
spells.
I assume because I assume we did a bunch of scouting, so I assume it's evening now.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Um,
So like you would have to like wait for her to memorize new spells.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming we'd want to, you know, I assume we'd want to plan to go Nova here.
And up to you what you want to go about. Any way would work. Many ways would work.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it'd be better just to try and, well, because we also want to kill the guy anyway.
Yeah. But also with Shadow Walk, we're one. How long does it last? How many people can she take?
One person per level.
One person per level and 1 hour per level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she can take all of us in and out if she has 2 casts of it.
Because I'm just saying, you know, no matter what, we'd have to go into this building
Mm-hmm.
to get up and around. And
Not
it's
necessarily. Not necessarily, because, like, again, if we can shadow walk into this building directly, how does? Oh, I could ask. How does the plane of shadow, work? Is it
So-
a mirror? Is it a?
Okay.
Is it a reflection, or is it a just a completely different area that takes you one place back? Because I know
It
the
is-
imperial plane is more of a reflection.
Yeah. It thing is, it's technically pretty inaccurate, but it doesn't mean you can't kind of judge where you're going to a degree.
Yeah. Okay. So it won't help us scout out the area, i.e., we can't look and see where we're going beforehand. But we can pick a spot and know how to get there.
Basically, because you're not traveling very far, theoretically, it's a lot easier to kind of judge how far you're going. Because normally when you would travel, you end up basically pretty far from your point, but it's assumed normally when you shadow walk, you travel a large distance because you actually travel at a rate of 50 miles per hour according to the material world when you're in the plane of shadow. Because the relativity there doesn't work very well. It's different.
Let's just break down the wall and go in.
I mean, that's my idea. Was
Also an
just
option.
kicking in the front door.
Also an option.
I'm thinking that may be the best option as well. We want to kill this guy. You might as well just go in there and use everything we have.
Like, middle of Bloodsport game, bam, fireball, kick in front door.
I can only do one of those.
Well, you know. We get a really well-placed fireball on that lake balcony.
I think attacking in the morning, or early morning, when everyone's asleep, would be the best.
Works for me.
You don't know where everybody sleeps, though, is the thing, too.
Yeah.
No,
We don't
well,
have
the
to
idea
keep
is a lot of people sleep at night, so attacking during then is better because it takes longer.
I'm gonna tell you, there's probably people active 24/7 in this place.
No, I get that, but it's like night guard is usually like half to like a third of the day.
Statistics I have, the night guard are exactly the same.
Ah, okay.
The main thing also is, does this guy even sleep here?
You
Probably
do not
sleeps
know.
in his theater. I think if we can get to the prisoners first and make know
and fight
where
our
they
way
are
out,
and then fight our way out with them, at least then they can't just go. He can't just say, "Oh, there might be a prison break. Go kill them."
He doesn't know why. He wouldn't know why we're here. That's the one thing.
But we don't know we don't know anything about him.
True.
And if he's willing to kill these people anyway, or plans on it, he might just say, just in case, slit their throats now.
Yes, that is a possibility. The only way to combat that, though, because here's the thing, if we sneak our way in fact, making it look like it's a gang raid...
You made really good checks and probably scouted out the area. There is something I've noticed in here that I didn't notice before that I can tell you as an extra option, just because, you know, I'm nice and there's something. It would take a while, but there is there's a stairway that used to be in this main building here that leads to the bottom floor that was filled with rubble. Could be cleared. It'd take a while. Probably take a little while longer to do it very quietly, but it probably could be cleared out. And it would get you right in the middle of this building. If you're talking about things that are like waiting, that's a time constraint thing, up to you on that one. I would say if you want to do it relatively quietly, like 2d4 hours. Because normally it takes 1d4 hour. Then again, if you do it during the pig sport, which would take probably a couple of hours, maybe you get done if you're just doing it during that time. People might be distracted enough.
I haven't spent any resources. There's no reason to wait.
I also have no resources spent.
What I'm saying is, that would probably be the most back door that they wouldn't be aware of someone breaking in through.
Yeah. I mean, we're just afraid of them killing the prisoners. I don't think he will just straight up kill them. I think it'd be better if we make it look like a gang raid.
Here's the thing is, that would be there. You've asked around. There are no other gangs anymore. No one would dare fight him. You know, that would be very unusual.
Unless we had someone, you know, that was obviously, like I was saying before, like the spiders people or something. It looks, and that would make it look like, oh, yeah, one of them's making a move. If we're just a bunch of people storming it, we're not going to look like a rival gang. If it's someone who he knows of as a gang that's paying homage to him currently,
yeah,
then that would work. But otherwise, it would just it's like, why are the, who are these random people just storming it? They're obviously not, a gang in here. I know all of them.
There's like
They all work for me.
there's like a dozen ways you can break in here, do things in here. Up to you which one you want to decide.
I'm just saying, if you want to do the gang thing, I think tapping the spider would make the most sense.
It wouldn't harm.
I'm starting to think that shadow walking into the upper floor, trying to get to the prisoner as soon as possible, and finding our way out is probably the best idea.
I'm going to tell you again. The secondary suggestion I gave versus the Shadow Walk, both are probably useful, but Shadow Walk would be quicker, but it would be less accurate. I would roll to see which room you ended up in, basically. That's the part of the inaccuracy. Normally, when you use Shadow Walk, I roll like hundreds of feet away.
We don't know how
but you're
many...
going like 100 feet, so I'm only rolling like what random room. I'm being kind of.
And we don't know how many rooms are in there.
Yes. Again,
Only
an old staircase might help too.
We would have to sneak everyone. Well, we'd fight our way out, which is fine.
Well, the thing is, if we do the staircase thing, we can take out the guards right there, free the prisoners, let them go out the way we snuck in, and then fight our way out without the prisoners.
Okay, I'll be nice and kind of reveal where the staircase is, because you kind of know where the bottom is. It's right here in the middle of the building.
All right.
So that's where you would arrive, right there in the middle of the building. If you took out the staircase.
I think the staircase during the blood sport would be the best option if we do the staircase. It may increase the amount of people who would be to fight, but we would be we'd reduce the option of getting spotted, and in that sense also make it easier for us to protect the one we're trying to escape.
Again, if you don't go out over here where there's probably massive amounts of gangs sitting and watching the sport, you're probably not going to run into that many people.
I mean, I agree. We'd come in this way, and then we'd let me do this. Yeah, we'd come in this way, and then we'd try and go out that way. So, but we'd still be fighting as people came this way. If the alarm. So we'd be, but that would also mean we're only fighting on one side, which is better.
Yeah, very true.
We create a bottleneck.
Well, not really a bottleneck, but it's more like we're not surrounded. We're mostly fighting one direction.
Well, we would also create a bottleneck because that's the way into the building.
Well, remember that there is a first floor down here, which is burnt out.
Yeah.
So they could, in theory, if they got to the bottom floor, just swarm. Because it's open. It's on stilts, basically, as you said.
Yeah, there is building, but it's like the outskirts of a building. Enough to support weight, basically, is left over there. It's structurally sound, but not a lot for the buildings.
Yeah. Probably questionably sound, but still sound enough for people to live there.
Like, these two buildings over here are the only ones that have bottom floors, but, like, this one has been definitely, like, actually sealed off. That's why there's not a door on there, because, like, people have, like, basically super boarded the door up and stuff like that, on the outside and probably inside, and left this as the one floor entrance out.
I think the staircase option's probably our best.
I'm inclined to agree.
Well, if we've decided on that, why don't we do that at the beginning of next time? Because we've reached the time of our thing. So,
look, player planning is a big part of role-playing games. So, we took an hour to do that, but that's actually very common. So,
look, I gotta be honest. Also, like, I missed the staircase was there. I was looking around, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, there's a staircase there. What's that too? And I'm like, oh, it's buried. And I'm like, oh, you probably would have noticed that you rolled really well on your scouting checks. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
And your stealth checks. You probably could have found that.
Yep. Okay. I think that's a plan then. We're basically going to go in guns blazing, but once... And here's the thing. We can send the... Because we know the paladin lady wants to commission him, so we know she can keep him safe. So we can send them out while we go to kill the Emperor.
She's just an actual cleric. She doesn't have Fireball. She's got Flame Strike.
I know, but I'm saying we can send her and the guy out to safety
That's true.
when we go in for the kill. So that way we know he's being protected by someone. And then question him later.
We can send her with the prisoners. They can actually shadow walk away.
Hey,
Yeah,
what level
that's
you
actually
guys?
a good plan. We are 8 still? Yeah, we're 8.
Okay, then congratulations. This is the exact time you're supposed to gain level 9. Right before you deal with the Emperor. So, hey, congratulations. Everybody level up. Great
Is there something
time.
else we were supposed to do?
No. I mean, well,
I actually
deal with the Emperor. There is the peaceful solution. There's like, they do suggest other solutions, but like, I opened it up to you guys, kind of what you wanted to do, and
We
like,
just decided that the peaceful solution wasn't worth it. There's no benefit to it.
Not gonna lie, a peaceful solution is actually really difficult because he's kind of crazy. It's not impossible,
Yeah.
but
There's also just not a lot of extra benefit to it. It sounds like really difficult for not a lot of benefit.
He is very terrible, the man. So
Yeah.
it definitely is what's his alignment he has? Chaotic evil? I wonder why.
Yeah.
So
I think, so getting this guy out so we can then find Ben Carlo. Yeah, I think this works. I think this plan works.
So
And then, but they could shadow walk away, which is better because then we know they're going away, which means they don't have to...
I have to worry less about the inaccuracy then.
Yeah, although it would just be 2 of them, which would make it hard, which could make it more dangerous, but not like that much.
Looks like 2 people are taking half +1 plus constant modifier.
Yeah.
Well, my hit dice are the same either way, so might as well roll it.
But hey, spellcasters get a new level of spell. I mean, Zardris gets a new level of spells.
I technically won't be able to cast it unless you're giving us a long rest.
Up to you on that one. Like, I got it.
Woo, I rolled average.
Very little will change, I think.
Yeah. It's a new level of spells. Do you need to cast it? Up to you on that one.
I don't even know if I will, to be honest.
What was I going to say? Yes, shoutouts.
It's time for the stream to end.
Yeah, Joseph, do you have anything to shout out?
Yar!
Okay. That's a good shout. Mighty shout. Lightning, do you have anything to shout out?
I'm tired of moving.
That's very acceptable. Linz may have fallen asleep. Lasted a good chunk of it there. Queenstill fell asleep. Momo.
I don't have anything to shout out.
Okay. Worm.
I'd like to move at some point soon. But otherwise, you can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or at DiamondWorm on Twitter. Also DiamondWorm on Blue Sky. I will most likely next be streaming on Friday, but there is a chance I'm still super exhausted and still jet lagged, and my next stream might be Saturday. We'll see where I'm at.
Got to see how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Dracovin. Most days you can see stuff here. Remember to check this show out every Wednesday at 9 p.m. We'll be back next week with I mean, honestly speaking, sounds like you really want to kill off Pilt's Swastrel.
I don't care if he's alive or dead.
He is kind of an awful man.
It'd be better if he's dead for everyone.
And also, like, you know, the other person that knows things about, you know, actually, you know, that was some hints about what was kind of going on, because you, turns out, maybe now you know why Vencarlo was meeting with this artist.
Oh, to fake his own death. That makes sense.
No. Remember the reason that you came for Vencarlo was he knew about the Seneschal?
Yeah.
Fake the Seneschal's death?
No. Well, you don't know. The thing is, you only knew that the Seneschal was missing and was presumed dead or escaped the city.
Yes.
There was evidence the Seneschal was still in the city in Old Korvosa, and Van Carlo was
Like-
meeting with
Anyway, thanks for watching,
Salvador Scream.
everyone.
Yeah, I know they were meeting. I'm just not sure what for. I know there were reasons, and I know some. I might figure it out immediately
Okay,
after.
I'll
I
tell
get
you
some
after
sleep.
stream. I'll tell you after stream. My stuff, Pathfinder stuff, I'll talk about in tabletop tomorrow. Some tabletop stuff and Elden Ring on Friday. Discussing tabletop on Saturday. Usually most days of the week except for Sunday. I'm going to be off next week except for Crimson Queen and discussing tabletop, so keep that in mind. Taking a week off to get some things done that I have just been not finding time for with a lot of life, things. So I'm taking a week, except for two stuff. So anyway, there you go, everybody. Farewell. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.